Grant, don't walk away. We can talk about this.
Talk? Dana, you already moved out.
My name is Grant Mercer, and I'm about to tell you how a simple business dinner turned my life into a goddamn battlefield. But first, let me paint you the scene that started it all. Picture this: downtown Cleveland's fanciest steakhouse, the kind of place where they charge $40 for a piece of meat and call it artisanal. I'm sitting there in my best suit, which, let's be honest, is about 3 years old and showing it, watching my wife Dana schmooze with her boss like I'm invisible furniture. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. Grant, Dana says, her voice dripping with that fake sweetness she's perfected over 23 years of marriage. I'd like you to meet Victor Brann, my supervisor at Pinnacle HR Solutions. Victor extends his hand with the kind of smile that makes you want to check your wallet. Ah, the famous Grant. Dana's told me so much about you. All lies, I hope, I say, shaking his hand. His grip is firm, calculated. Everything about this guy screams corporate predator. Dana laughs that tinkling laugh she reserves for impressing people. Oh, Grant's being modest. He's in commercial real estate, very successful. Actually, Victor says, settling back in his chair like he owns the place. Dana and I have been discussing some changes. Haven't we, sweetheart? Sweetheart. The word hits me like a slap. I look at my wife, searching her face for some explanation, but she's staring at her wine glass like it holds the secrets of the universe. What kind of changes? I ask. Dana finally looks up, and I see something in her eyes I've never seen before. Cold determination. Grant, we need to talk. About us. About our future. Here? Now? I gesture around the restaurant. In front of your boss? Victor leans forward, his smile widening. Actually, Grant, I think it's perfect timing. You see, Dana and I have grown quite close over the past few months. Very close. The words hang in the air like smoke. I feel my chest tighten, my hands clench involuntarily. 23 years of marriage, and she's dumping me in a restaurant with her lover watching like it's dinner theater. How close? I ask, though I already know the answer. Close enough that we're looking at apartments together, Dana says quietly. Close enough that I've already moved half my things out of our house. I sit there, stunned. Half her things. How did I miss that? But then again, I've been working 60-hour weeks trying to keep our lifestyle afloat while she's been playing house with Mr. Corporate America here. You moved out? I ask. I moved on, she corrects. There's a difference. Victor signals the waiter for another bottle of wine. Look, Grant, these things happen. People grow apart. Dana's just being honest about what she wants. And what she wants is you. What she wants, Victor says, pouring himself more wine, is someone who can appreciate her ambitions, someone who understands the corporate world, someone who can keep up. The implication is clear. I'm not good enough, never was, apparently. So this whole dinner, I say slowly, was just to humiliate me, to make it official? Dana has the decency to look uncomfortable. Grant, please don't make a scene. A scene? I laugh, and it comes out bitter. Lady, you just told me you're leaving me for your boss in the middle of a 5-star restaurant, and you're worried about me making a scene? Other diners are starting to look our way. Victor seems to be enjoying the attention. This is all a game to him, and I'm the entertainment. You know what? I stand up, throwing my napkin on the table. Congratulations, you two deserve each other. I start to walk away, then turn back. Oh, and Victor? That Rolex you're wearing? It's a fake. The crown doesn't align properly with the 6 o'clock marker. But then again, I guess you're used to fake things, aren't you? His face goes red, but I'm already walking toward the exit. Behind me, I hear Dana hissing something about embarrassment, but I don't care. I'm done caring about what Dana thinks. Outside, the October air hits me like a physical blow. 23 years. Gone. Just like that. But as I walk to my car, something else starts building inside me. Not just hurt or anger, but something colder, more calculated. If Dana and Victor think they can humiliate me and walk away clean, they're about to learn how wrong they are. I may not be corporate material, but I know how to fight. And I know how to win. 3 days later, I'm sitting in my home office, my former home office, I guess, staring at our shared computer. Dana always was careless with technology. She left her email open, probably in her rush to get to another business meeting with Victor. What I find there makes my stomach turn. Can't wait to feel your hands on me again. Grant suspects nothing. He's too busy with his little real estate deals to notice what's happening right under his nose. After the Henderson account closes, we can make this official. I'm thinking Cabo for our first real vacation together. D. The timestamp shows this was sent 2 months ago. 2 months. While I was working my ass off to pay for the house she's been using as a love nest planning station. I scroll through more emails. There are dozens of them, going back 6 months. Hotel reservations, restaurant bookings, even apartment listings. They've been planning this whole thing while I was working late, trying to land the Morrison deal that would finally let us pay off the mortgage. But it's the last email that really gets me. Victor, my darling, Grant signed the Morrison contract today. The commission should be around 85 KOs after taxes. Perfect timing for our fresh start. He has no idea it's going to fund our new life together. Isn't it poetic? All my love, D. I lean back in my chair, a cold smile spreading across my face. So that's her game. Work me like a dog to close the biggest deal of my career, then take half the money and run off with her corporate boyfriend. My phone buzzes. Text from Dana. Working late again tonight, don't wait up. Working late. Right. I pick up my phone and dial a number I haven't called in years. Big Mike's gym, comes the gravelly voice. Mike, it's Grant Mercer. I need to start training again. Grant? Jesus, it's been what, 5 years? You finally gonna get back in fighting shape? Something like that, I say, still staring at the emails. I need to remember how to throw a punch. You coming in tonight? I'll be there in an hour. I close the laptop and head upstairs to pack a bag. If Dana wants to play games, I'll play games. But she's about to learn that I've got a few tricks she never knew about. In our bedroom, my bedroom now, I open the safe behind our wedding photo. Inside, along with our important documents, is a small digital recorder I bought years ago for client meetings. I slip it into my pocket. Time to start gathering evidence. Big Mike's gym hasn't changed in 5 years. Same smell of sweat and leather, same motivational posters peeling off the walls, same crowd of guys working out their frustrations on heavy bags and each other. Mike himself looks exactly the same too. 6'4", built like a truck, with hands that could crush walnuts and a heart bigger than Lake Erie. You look like hell, he says by way of greeting. Feel worse, I admit, wrapping my hands. Dana's leaving me. The HR lady? Damn, Grant, I'm sorry. What happened? I give him the short version while I warm up on the speed bag. Mike listens without interrupting, nodding occasionally. So, what's your play? He asks when I finish. Still figuring that out. Right now, I'm just trying to get my head straight. And you think punching things is gonna help? Can't hurt. Mike chuckles. Fair enough. But Grant, whatever you're planning, be smart about it. Don't give them ammunition to use against you. Good advice. I spend the next hour working out 23 years of frustration on the heavy bag, and by the time I'm done, I've got the beginnings of a plan. The next morning, I call my lawyer, Tom Patterson. We went to high school together, and he's handled all my real estate contracts over the years. Grant, good to hear from you. How's Dana? That's actually why I'm calling, Tom. We're getting divorced. There's a pause. I'm sorry to hear that. Are we talking amicable or... We're talking she's been screwing her boss for 6 months and planning to take half my money to start a new life with him. Ah, so not amicable. Not even close. Okay, first things first. Do not move out of the house. Do not sign anything. Do not make any major financial decisions. And for God's sake, don't do anything stupid. Define stupid. Anything that could be construed as harassment, intimidation, or stalking. I know you're pissed, but we need to be smart here. What can I do? Document everything. Financial records, evidence of the affair, anything that shows she's been planning this. Ohio's a no-fault state, but adultery can still affect asset division if we can prove she was using marital funds to support the relationship. I think about those hotel receipts I saw in her purse. I can do that. Good. And Grant? I know this is hard, but try to keep things civil until we can get our ducks in a row. Civil. Right. That afternoon, I'm at the Morrison Industries office, finalizing the last details of my big sale, when my phone rings. It's my daughter Sophie, calling from her apartment near Ohio State. Dad, I just got off the phone with Mom. She told me about the divorce. Yes, sweetheart. I'm sorry you had to hear about it like this. She says you're being unreasonable, that you won't even discuss things rationally. I feel a stab of betrayal. Dana's already working on turning Sophie against me. What exactly did she tell you? That she's been unhappy for years, and that you're more interested in work than your family. She says she's found someone who actually pays attention to her. And you believe that? There's a pause. I don't know what to believe, Dad. All I know is that Mom's crying all the time, and you sound angry. I am angry, Sophie. Your mother's been having an affair. She told me it wasn't like that. She said she didn't start seeing Victor until after she decided the marriage was over. I close my eyes. Of course she did. Sophie, honey, I found emails going back 6 months. They've been planning this whole thing while I've been working to support our family. Mom says you're just trying to make her look bad. And there it is. Dana's already poisoned the well. My own daughter thinks I'm the villain in this story. Sophie, I love you. Whatever happens between your mother and me, that won't change. But I need you to know that I didn't want this. I would have done anything to save our marriage. Then why won't you just let her go? Why are you making this so hard? Because she's trying to destroy me, I want to say. Because she's not just leaving. She's trying to humiliate me and steal half my life's work to fund her new romance. But I can't say that to my daughter. It's complicated, sweetheart. Just try to keep an open mind, okay? After I hang up, I sit in my car in the Morrison Industries parking lot and realize how alone I am. My wife's gone, my daughter's against me, and I'm about to lose half of everything I've worked for. But I'm not beaten yet. Not by a long shot. The next Friday, I decide to test the waters. Dana's told me she's working late again, another client dinner that will probably last until midnight. Instead of sitting home feeling sorry for myself, I drive to Victor's office building. Pinnacle HR Solutions occupies the top 3 floors of a glass tower downtown. Very impressive. Very expensive. I park across the street and wait. At 7:30, Dana and Victor emerge from the building together. They're not trying to hide anything. His hand is on her back as they walk to his BMW. They look like a couple, happy, confident. They drive to Chez Laurent, the French place where Dana and I had our 10th anniversary dinner. I follow at a distance and park where I can see them through the restaurant's windows. They're sitting at our table, the same corner booth where Dana once told me she wanted to renew our vows for our 20th anniversary. Now she's holding hands with another man in the same spot. I take out my phone and snap a few pictures. Tom said to document everything. But as I'm watching them, something interesting happens. Another couple enters the restaurant. Jim and Sarah Morrison from Morrison Industries. Jim's the CEO whose building I just sold. They spot Victor and Dana immediately. I can't hear what they're saying, but Jim looks uncomfortable. He keeps glancing around, clearly not wanting to be seen with Victor and his married girlfriend. The conversation is brief and awkward. This gives me an idea. The next Monday, I call Jim Morrison. "Grant, good to hear from you. How's married life?" "Actually, Jim, that's kind of why I'm calling. I need to ask you something, and I hope you'll keep it between us." "Of course. What's on your mind?" "Dana and I are getting divorced. She's been having an affair with her boss, Victor Brann from Pinnacle HR. I saw you talking to them at Chez Laurent Friday night, and I was wondering, do you know Victor professionally?" There's a long pause. "Jesus, Grant, I'm sorry. I had no idea Dana was married when Victor introduced her as his girlfriend." "So you do know him?" "We've been considering Pinnacle for our HR outsourcing needs. Victor's been pitching us pretty hard, but if he's the kind of guy who goes after married women..." "I'm not asking you to make business decisions based on my personal problems, Jim. I just wanted you to know the situation." "I appreciate that, Grant, and for what it's worth, you seem like a stand-up guy. If Dana doesn't see that, it's her loss." After I hang up, I allow myself a small smile. Word travels fast in Cleveland's business community. By the end of the week, half the city will know about Victor and Dana's affair, but I'm just getting started. That evening, Dana comes home for the first time in 3 days. She looks tired, stressed. "We need to talk," she says. "I'm listening. I want to make this as easy as possible for both of us. I've found an apartment, and I'm ready to make the separation official." "What about the house?" "We'll sell it and split the proceeds. Same with the other assets, including my Morrison commission." She has the decency to look embarrassed. "Grant, we earned that money together. I supported your career. By sleeping with your boss while I was working 60-hour weeks? Don't be crude. Don't be a hypocrite." I lean forward. "I know about the emails, Dana. I know you've been planning this for months. I know about the hotels, the restaurants, the apartment hunting. I know you were planning to use my commission to fund your new life with Victor." Her face goes white. "You went through my email? You left it open on our shared computer. Our computer, Dana, in our house, that I pay for. You had no right." "I had every right. You're still my wife. This is still my house, and those are still my assets you're trying to steal." She stands up, her hands shaking. "I'm not stealing anything. I'm entitled to half of everything we built together. Everything I built while you were building a relationship with another man." "The marriage was over, Grant. It's been over for years." "Then why didn't you leave years ago? Why wait until I landed the biggest deal of my career?" She doesn't answer, but she doesn't need to. We both know why. "I want you out," I say quietly. "Tonight." "This is my house too." "No, it's not. The mortgage is in my name. The deed is in my name. You want to live with Victor? Go live with Victor. You can't just kick me out. Watch me." I stand up and walk to the front door, opening it wide. "Get your things and go. We'll let the lawyers sort out the rest." For a moment, I think she's going to fight me, but then she sees something in my face that makes her step back. "This isn't over, Grant." "No," I agree. "It's not." Over the next 2 weeks, I put my plan into motion. First, I call every mutual friend Dana and I have shared over the years. I don't badmouth her. I don't need to. I just tell them the truth. Dana left me for her boss, and they've been planning it for months while I was working to support our family. The response is exactly what I expected. Shock, sympathy, and most importantly, anger on my behalf. Dana's always been a little too ambitious, a little too image-conscious for some of our friends. Learning that she's a cheater and a gold digger just confirms what some of them already suspected. When Dana tries to reach out to our social circle for support, she finds a lot of cold shoulders and unreturned phone calls. Second, I start making strategic business calls. Not to badmouth Victor, that would be unprofessional, but to share concerns about Pinnacle HR's stability and leadership. Word gets around that Victor is having personal problems that might affect his professional judgment. 2 potential clients decide to go with other firms. Pinnacle's quarterly numbers start looking shaky. Third, I hire a private investigator named Kelly Santos. She's ex-police, discreet, and very good at her job. Within a week, she has detailed records of Dana and Victor's affair, hotel receipts, restaurant bills, even photos of them apartment hunting. But the real goldmine is what she discovers about Victor's past. Turns out, this isn't his first office romance. He has a pattern of seducing female employees, promising them promotions and raises, then discarding them when he gets bored. 3 women in the past 5 years, all of whom left Pinnacle under mysterious circumstances. Kelly also discovers that Victor is married. His wife lives in Chicago, where she runs her own consulting firm. They've been separated for 2 years, but never divorced, which means Dana isn't just a homewrecker. She's the other woman to a man who's still legally married to someone else. I have Kelly send copies of all the evidence to Victor's wife in Chicago. Not out of spite, well, not entirely, but because she deserves to know what kind of man she's married to. The response is swift and devastating. Victor's wife files for divorce and demands half of everything, including his stake in Pinnacle HR. She also contacts the 3 former employees who left under suspicious circumstances and encourages them to file complaints with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Within days, Victor is fighting battles on multiple fronts: a messy divorce, potential harassment charges, and a company that's hemorrhaging clients and revenue. But I save the best for last. I call Sophie. "Dad, I wasn't expecting to hear from you." "Sophie, I need you to know something. I've never lied to you, and I'm not going to start now. Your mother's been having an affair for 6 months. I have proof, emails, hotel receipts, everything. She was planning to leave me the moment I closed the Morrison deal so she could use the commission money to start a new life with her boyfriend." "Dad, I don't want to hear this. And there's something else. Victor Brann, the man she's been seeing. He's married. His wife is filing for divorce, and 3 of his former employees are filing harassment charges against him. Your mother isn't his first victim, and she probably won't be his last." There's a long silence. Then, "Are you sure about all this?" "I'll email you copies of everything. You can see for yourself." Another pause. "Dad, I'm sorry. Mom told me you were just being vindictive." "I am being vindictive, sweetheart, but I'm also telling the truth." That night, Sophie calls Dana. I don't hear the conversation, but I can guess how it goes based on the 17 missed calls Dana makes to my phone over the next hour. 3 weeks after Dana moved out, I get a call from Tom Patterson. "Grant, we need to meet. Dana's lawyer is making some interesting claims." We meet at Tom's office downtown. He's got a thick file spread across his desk. "She's claiming emotional distress," Tom says. "Says you've been harassing her, interfering with her business relationships, and trying to turn your daughter against her." "Is any of that illegal?" "No, unethical, maybe, but not illegal. However, she's also claiming that you've been stalking her and Victor. That could be a problem." "I haven't been stalking anyone. I hired a private investigator to document the affair." "That's different. But Grant, you need to be careful. Dana's lawyer is looking for any excuse to paint you as the bad guy here." "Let him try. I've got 6 months of evidence showing she planned this whole thing." Tom nods. "Which brings me to the good news. Based on what you've provided, I think we can make a strong case that Dana forfeited her right to alimony through adultery. We might also be able to argue that she's not entitled to half the Morrison commission since she was already planning to leave when you earned it." "What about the house?" "That's trickier. But since the mortgage is in your name and you can prove you made all the payments, we might be able to work something out." I leave Tom's office feeling cautiously optimistic. But I've got one more card to play. That evening, I drive to the apartment complex where Dana and Victor are living. It's a high-end place in Beechwood, all glass and chrome and overpriced amenities. Very Victor. I park across the street and wait. At 8:30 they emerge together, dressed for dinner. They look happy, confident, like they've won. They haven't won yet. I follow them to Morton's Steakhouse, another expensive place where Cleveland's business elite go to see and be seen. Perfect. I wait until they're seated, then I walk in and ask for a table. The hostess seats me 3 tables away, close enough to watch but far enough away to avoid a scene. Dana spots me immediately. I see her whisper something to Victor, who turns around and glares at me. I raise my wine glass in a mock toast and smile. Victor stands up and walks over to my table. "What the hell are you doing here, Grant?" "Having dinner, same as you." "This is harassment. This is a public restaurant. I have as much right to be here as you do. Look, I know you're upset." "Upset?" I laugh. "Victor, I'm not upset. I'm grateful." "Grateful?" "You did me a favor. You showed me what kind of woman I was married to. What kind of person would plan to steal her husband's biggest commission to fund her affair. I should thank you." Victor's face is getting red. Other diners are starting to notice. "You're pathetic," he says. "No wonder Dana left you." "Maybe. But at least I'm not married to someone else while I'm seducing other men's wives." His face goes white. "What are you talking about?" "Chicago, Victor. Your wife in Chicago, the one who's filing for divorce and going after half of everything you own, the one who's been talking to your former employees about your workplace habits." Victor looks like he's been punched in the gut. "You snake." Now, we're in a nice restaurant. Let's keep this civil." He leans down, his voice low and threatening. "You have no idea what you're messing with." "Actually, I think I do. I think I'm messing with a serial predator who's finally met his match." Victor straightens up, his hands clenched into fists. For a moment, I think he might actually take a swing at me. But then he notices the other diners watching us, some of them with their phones out. He walks back to his table, throws some money down, and grabs Dana's arm. They leave without finishing their meals. I sit there for another hour, enjoying my steak and watching the other diners whisper about the scene they just witnessed. By tomorrow, half of Cleveland's business community will know about the confrontation. My phone buzzes. Text from Dana. "You're destroying everything." I text back. "No, I'm just returning the favor." The end comes faster than I expected. 2 days after the restaurant confrontation, Kelly Santos calls with news. "Grant, you're not going to believe this. Victor's been fired." "Fired?" Pinnacle's board held an emergency meeting yesterday. Between the harassment complaints, the divorce proceedings, and the loss of several major clients, they decided he was too much of a liability. "What about Dana?" "She's been placed on administrative leave pending an internal investigation. Apparently, there are questions about whether she disclosed the relationship properly and whether company resources were used to support their affair." I lean back in my chair, a smile spreading across my face. "So they're both out of work?" "Looks that way." "And Grant?" "There's something else. Victor's wife in Chicago. She's not just going after half his assets. She's claiming he used marital funds to support his affair with Dana. Hotel rooms, dinners, even the apartment deposit. If she can prove it, Victor could be looking at some serious financial consequences." After I hang up, I pour myself a scotch and toast the empty house. 23 years of marriage, and it all comes down to this. Dana bet on the wrong horse. But I'm not done yet. The next morning, I call Sophie. "Dad, I was just about to call you. I heard about Victor getting fired." News travels fast. "Dad, I owe you an apology. I talked to some of Mom's friends and, well, let's just say the story I'm hearing now is very different from what Mom told me." "What are you hearing?" "That she's been planning this for months. That she was bragging about how she was going to take half of your commission and start fresh. That she called you a fool for working so hard while she was with Victor." I close my eyes. Even after everything, it hurts to hear that Dana was mocking me behind my back. "I'm sorry, sweetheart. I never wanted you to hear things like that." "No, Dad. I needed to hear them. I needed to know the truth. and I need you to know that I'm on your side. Whatever you need, whatever I can do to help. Just keep being my daughter. That's all I need. That afternoon, Tom Patterson calls with the final piece of good news. Grant, Dana's lawyer wants to settle. Settle? She's dropping all claims to alimony and the Morrison Commission. She just wants to walk away. What changed her mind? Probably the fact that Victor can't support her anymore, and she's about to lose her own job. She needs to cut her losses and find new employment before word gets around about her role in all this. What about the house? She's willing to sign it over to you in exchange for a lump sum payment of $50,000. I think about it. $50,000 is a lot of money, but it's a fraction of what she could have claimed in a contested divorce, and it would give me clear ownership of the house I've been paying for all these years. Counteroffer, $25,000, and she signs a non-disclosure agreement. I'll make the call. An hour later, Tom calls back. She accepted. The divorce is finalized on a cold December morning. Dana and I meet at the courthouse, sign the papers, and walk away from 23 years of marriage like it was a business transaction. She looks older, tired. The stress of the past few months has aged her. Victor is nowhere to be seen. Rumor has it he's moved back to Chicago to deal with his own divorce proceedings. Grant, Dana says as we're leaving the courthouse, I want you to know, I never meant for things to end this way. How did you mean for them to end? She doesn't answer. You know what the funny thing is, Dana? If you had just asked for a divorce 6 months ago, you probably would have gotten half of everything. The house, the commission, alimony for years. But you got greedy. You wanted to have your affair and take my money too. I loved him, she says quietly. No, you loved what he represented. Success, status, excitement. But you never bothered to find out what kind of man he really was. And what kind of man are you, Grant? Look what you did to us, to me, to Victor. You destroyed everything. I stop walking and turn to face her. I didn't destroy anything, Dana. I just refused to be destroyed. There's a difference. She walks away without another word. I watch her get into a taxi. She had to sell her car to pay her legal fees and disappear into the city traffic. I drive home to my house. My house now, legally and completely. It's quiet, empty, but it's mine. That evening, Sophie comes over for dinner. We cook together, something we haven't done since she was in high school. We don't talk much about the divorce or Dana or Victor. We just enjoy being father and daughter again. Dad, she says as she's getting ready to leave, are you happy? I think about the question. Am I happy? I'm alone, starting over at 50. My marriage is destroyed, and I've spent the last 3 months systematically ruining the lives of people I once cared about. But I'm not broke. I'm not humiliated. I'm not the victim of someone else's greed and betrayal. I'm satisfied, I tell her. Sometimes that's enough. 3 months later, I run into Jim Morrison at a business lunch. He tells me that Pinnacle HR went out of business. Too many clients jumped ship after the Victor scandal. He also mentions that he heard Dana is working as a receptionist at a small firm in Akron, starting over at entry level. What about Victor? I ask. Last I heard, he was tending bar in Chicago. His ex-wife got everything in the divorce. I nod and change the subject. I don't take pleasure in other people's misery, even when they brought it on themselves, but I do take satisfaction in knowing that actions have consequences, that betrayal has a price, that sometimes the good guys win. 6 months after the divorce, I sell the Morrison building for another substantial commission. I use part of the money to take Sophie on a trip to Europe, something Dana always said we couldn't afford. Standing on the balcony of our hotel in Rome, watching the sunset over the eternal city, I realize something. I'm not just satisfied anymore. I'm actually happy. Dana thought she was trading up when she left me for Victor. She thought she was moving from a blue-collar real estate agent to a corporate executive. What she didn't realize is that character matters more than status, that loyalty matters more than excitement. That a man who will help you betray your spouse will eventually betray you too. I learned something too. That I'm stronger than I thought. That I can fight back when I need to. That I don't have to be anyone's victim. The business dinner that started this whole mess was supposed to be my humiliation. Instead, it was the beginning of my liberation. Dana and Victor thought they were so clever, so sophisticated. They thought they could manipulate me, use me, and discard me. They were wrong. In the end, the only thing they accomplished was showing me what I was really made of. And what I'm made of, it turns out, is stronger than they ever imagined.